Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 6 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks. The Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks are set for a showdown that feels like a defining moment, especially with the two teams heading in opposite directions to start the season. The Celtics have roared out of the gates with a rock-solid 8-2 record, showcasing why they're one of the league's most formidable teams, while the Bucks have stumbled to a concerning 2-7. This matchup isn't just another game, it's an early proving ground, with both teams eager to establish themselves. Boston entered the season with high hopes, and so far, they've delivered. They've claimed 8 wins in their first 10 games, falling only in an overtime nail-biter against the Pacers and a hard-fought battle with the Warriors. Yet, they bounced back fast, edging out the Nets in a tight 108-104 finish. Boston's depth has been key, with a roster that keeps stepping up, even as injuries have disrupted their lineup. Jason Tatum has been nothing short of elite, averaging 30.5 points, 7.2 boards, and 4.6 assists per game. He's showing his growth as a leader and a two-way star, shooting a solid 48% while also grabbing nearly 2 steals a game. Derek White has been steady, scoring in double digits consistently, and Drew Holiday has fit in seamlessly as a playmaker. Al Horford's veteran presence, coupled with Peyton Pritchard's energy, like his recent 20-point outburst against the Nets, has rounded out a lineup that's hungry and deep. Injuries have kept the Celtics on their toes. Jaylen Brown's hip issue has sidelined him for 4 games, and Kristaps Porzingis has faced some setbacks. Still, the Celtics system and teamwork have kept them in stride, showing a true championship mindset. Milwaukee, meanwhile, is facing an unexpected rough patch. With a 2-7 record, the Bucks haven't found their rhythm. After a brief win against the Jazz, they've stumbled again, most recently in a blowout loss to the Knicks. This rocky start has raised doubts about a team that was expected to be a serious contender. Giannis Antetokounmpo has shown his frustration as he's continued to deliver, averaging 30 points, 12.3 rebounds, and 5.3 assists. Yet, without steady support, especially with Chris Middleton out, the Bucks have struggled to build momentum. Damian Lillard, Milwaukee's big offseason addition, has chipped in 27.3 points and 6.7 assists per game, but has faced personal challenges off the court. With the Bucks ranking low in assists, their ball movement has been sluggish, leaving Giannis and Lillard shouldering most of the load. Without consistent help from the bench, Milwaukee has had a tough time securing wins. For the Celtics, Brown's status remains up in the air, meaning Tatum and his supporting cast will need to stay sharp. If Boston can keep their ball movement crisp and hit from beyond the arc, they'll stretch Milwaukee's defense and control the tempo. The Bucks, however, are at a critical point. Giannis has challenged his team to step up, and there's a strong motivation to prove they're still contenders. Playing at home could give Milwaukee a lift, especially as they've won their last 5 home games against Boston. If Brown sits, it could be an opening for Milwaukee to exploit. Ultimately, I'm backing the Bucks with the +3 spread. They're at a point where they need a statement win, and with Giannis fired up and the home court advantage, Milwaukee might just pull off an upset. It's make or break time, and I believe the Bucks will rise to the challenge. The second prediction for today is for a game between the New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers. Tonight, the New York Knicks head to Indiana for a face-off with the Pacers in what promises to be a gritty battle of teams striving for consistency. The Knicks sit at an even 4-4, while the Pacers have struggled to a 4-5 start, both teams experiencing the early season roller coaster of highs and lows that only intensify the stakes. The Knicks enter this game after a dominant 116-94 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Coming off a strong playoff performance last season, where they pushed the Bucks to 7 games in the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Knicks have bolstered their roster with the additions of Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. Towns has proven to be a pivotal force, leading the Knicks scoring at 24.2 points per game. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson, who was a key contributor last season, has yet to fully hit his stride this year. On top of that, the absence of Mitchell Robinson due to injury has exposed some defensive vulnerabilities. Offensively, the Knicks are one of the best in the league, scoring an impressive 120.1 points per 100 possessions. However, their defensive struggles are apparent, ranking 26th in opponent shooting percentage as they allow teams to convert at a 47.6% clip. This presents a challenge against Indiana, who has the ability to light up the scoreboard, though they've had their own ups and downs. Indiana is coming off a rough 103-83 road loss to Charlotte, a game that underscored some of their defensive issues. The Pacers, last year's Eastern Conference finalists, have been waiting for Tyrese Haliburton to recapture his scoring touch. Haliburton's numbers have dipped this season, averaging 14.7 points and 7.7 assists, while Pascal Siakam has become Indiana's top offensive option, putting up 20.7 points per game to keep them competitive. Though the Pacers have shown defensive improvements, rebounding has been a weak spot, with Indiana allowing a league-worst 16.8 second chance points per game. This vulnerability could be critical against New York's offensive aggressiveness around the basket. In their previous matchup this season, the Knicks won 123-98, exploiting Indiana's defensive gaps at Madison Square Garden. Both teams have since adjusted, and with the Pacers back on their home court, they'll be eager to even the score. While Indiana favors a fast pace, averaging 104.6 possessions per game, 8th in the league, the Knicks take a more deliberate approach as the slowest team, averaging 97.7 possessions per game. The slower pace typically keeps scores lower, something that has been consistent in the Knicks' recent games. For tonight, I'm betting on the total points to stay under the 229.5 line. In their last meeting, they fell short of that mark, with both teams favoring controlled scoring opportunities. With New York's preference for slower games and Indiana's recent inconsistencies, I'm confident this one stays on the lower side of the total. My call is for the total points to stay under the mark, leaning on the Knicks' defensive intensity and Indiana's unpredictability to keep it close, but not high-scoring.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The third prediction for today is for a game between the Miami Heat and Minnesota Timberwolves. On Sunday night, we're looking at an intriguing matchup between the Miami Heat and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Both teams entered the league in the same expansion year, but their paths have diverged considerably. Miami has built a reputation on grit and championships, while Minnesota has had more modest success in establishing itself among the NBA's elite. But this season, it's the Timberwolves who seem to have the upper hand. The Timberwolves come into this game on a hot streak, riding a 6-3 record and a 3-game winning run with each victory by at least 16 points. Anthony Edwards has been nothing short of sensational, dropping 37 points in their latest game and solidifying his role as a franchise cornerstone. The defensive play of Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels has also been a game-changer, allowing Minnesota to lock down opponents, rank 4th in shooting efficiency, and dominate from the perimeter. Meanwhile, the Heat are struggling to find their rhythm. They're currently 3-5 and on a 3-game skid, and it doesn't help that they recently fell to Denver, despite solid contributions from Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro. But what stings the most is the potential absence of Jimmy Butler, who played only 6 minutes against the Nuggets due to an ankle injury. Without Butler, Miami's offense becomes more predictable, relying heavily on Adebayo and Herro, who'll have to face Minnesota's fierce defense. Defensively, Miami's struggles are just as apparent. Once feared for their defensive prowess, the Heat now sit at 25th in perimeter defense and 20th in opponent shooting percentage, a drastic shift from their former identity under coach Erik Spoelstra. This could open the door for Minnesota's explosive offense, led by Edwards and bolstered by the playmaking of DiVincenzo and Reed, to find opportunities. Home court advantage is another edge for Minnesota. Playing in front of their fans at the Target Center, the Timberwolves have shown they can hold their own, and Miami's road challenges only make this advantage more critical. In a season where Minnesota is eager to make a playoff statement, this matchup against a weakened Miami squad is the perfect chance. In my opinion, the Timberwolves should comfortably cover the spread and come out with a win by at least 7 points. With their blend of defense, offense, and the home crowd behind them, Minnesota is well positioned to capitalize on Miami's defensive struggles and lack of depth. Expect a focused Timberwolves team to exploit these weaknesses and extend their winning streak. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Golden State Warriors and Oklahoma City Thunder. This Sunday, I expect a fierce showdown between the Golden State Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder, a must-watch matchup with both teams looking to make a statement. The Warriors, after a tough 136-117 loss to the Cavaliers, had their momentum halted, snapping a 5-game winning streak in the process. Golden State's defense was overwhelmed by Cleveland's hot shooting as the Cavs sank 54.1% of their attempts. Although the Warriors put up a strong 34-24 push in the final quarter, the early lapses were too much to overcome. Now, Golden State faces another uphill battle against a red-hot Thunder squad that currently tops the league's standings. Oklahoma City has been on a tear, flaunting an 8-1 record with a balance of offense and defense that's among the league's best. They lead the NBA in defensive efficiency and shot blocking, setting a high bar for opponents to clear. Fresh off a 126-107 win over Houston, the Thunder have established themselves as serious contenders. Despite some issues on the boards, allowing 14 offensive rebounds, Oklahoma's efficient shooting and lockdown defense overwhelmed the Rockets. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander continues to be the heartbeat of the team, posting 26.3 points per game on 50% shooting, while Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren bring additional scoring depth, averaging 19 and 18.2 points, respectively. With this well-rounded play, Oklahoma City has its eyes set firmly on a deep playoff push. Meanwhile, Golden State has shown it can score with the best of them. Sitting at 7-2, the Warriors own the NBA's second-highest scoring offense and rank 8th in field goal percentage. They're also the league's best rebounding team, a crucial asset that generates second chances and controls the pace. However, their defense has been inconsistent, leaving them vulnerable to teams that can capitalize on their lapses as Cleveland did. Stephen Curry, as always, is the heart of Golden State's offense, averaging 26.7 points per game over his career against the Thunder. With Curry in top form, the Warriors could pose a serious threat if he gets hot from beyond the arc supporting him. Buddy Hield has been a key contributor, adding 19.1 points per game with elite shooting efficiency, especially from deep, hitting nearly 50%. The Warriors also rely on Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, though Wiggins could improve his 44.4% shooting to round out the attack. In terms of matchup dynamics, Oklahoma City has been solid at home, covering the spread in 3 of their 4 games. Their disciplined play on both ends, especially on defense, gives them a slight edge here. However, Golden State has proven effective on the road, covering the spread in 5 of 6 away games, and they're motivated to bounce back from the Cleveland loss. Both teams stand at 7-2 against the spread this season, so I think we're in for a close battle. Historically, Warriors-Thunder games tend to be nail-biters, with 2 of their 4 meetings last season extending to overtime. Oklahoma City's defense has leveled up this year, which could stymie Golden State's offense more than in previous matchups. In the end, I believe this will be a tight game. If the Warriors can find their groove early, limit mistakes, and keep their offensive rhythm, they'll stay within striking distance. But with Oklahoma City's defensive discipline and rebounding prowess, I'm leaning toward the Thunder to grab the win at home, though Golden State might still keep it close enough to cover the spread. I'm taking the Warriors at plus 7.5 point to cover. The fifth prediction for today is for a game between the Dallas Mavericks and Denver Nuggets. As we look ahead to this Western Conference face-off, I'm anticipating a high-stakes battle between the Denver Nuggets and the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are waiting on a key update. Luka Doncic's availability remains in question due to a strained left groin that could potentially sideline him. Missing Luka would be a massive blow for Dallas, especially as they're already shorthanded with guard Dante Exum out and doubts around Derek Lively Jr. and P.J. Washington. If Luka sits, I expect Kyrie Irving and Dallas' recent acquisition, Klay Thompson, to shoulder a lot of responsibility on offense to stand up to Denver's firepower. Kyrie has been clutch for the Mavericks so far, averaging a solid 23.7 points per game on efficient shooting, and he stepped up every time Dallas needed a scorer. Klay's contributions have been steady, averaging 14.1 points per game, but if the Mavericks want to hang with Denver, Klay might need to turn it up and hit closer to 20 points. On the Nuggets side, Nikola Jokic has been an unstoppable force. The reigning MVP recently put up another triple-double against Miami and continues to dominate, ranking among the league's top 5 scorers with 28.9 points per game. His consistency in filling up the stat sheet keeps him firmly in the MVP race, and if Denver stays near the top of the standings, he could very well add a 4th MVP trophy to his collection. With Aaron Gordon and Darren Holmes two the only unavailable players, Denver looks set to hit the court close to full strength. Adding to Denver's depth has been the spark of Russell Westbrook. Coming off the bench, he's contributing 11.7 points, 4.0 rebounds, and 5.4 assists, proving to be a valuable playmaker for the Nuggets. Westbrook's energy has given Denver's offense a boost, and as long as he limits turnovers, he's a real difference maker. The Mavericks have been decent on offense, averaging 113.4 points per game and showing improvement defensively, holding opponents to 108.8 points. However, Denver's offense is a beast, putting up 120.8 points per game on efficient shooting. The Nuggets, however, need to tighten up on defense, as they've been giving up 117.8 points on average. Denver is coming into this game red hot, riding a 4-game win streak and an impressive 6-3 record. They've been unstoppable on their home court, with dominant wins over teams like Miami and Utah. In contrast, Dallas has struggled to find consistency and is 5-4, having recently come off a close loss to Phoenix and a 2-3 record from a home stretch. Historically, the Mavericks have had a hard time winning in Denver, with 3 consecutive road losses by significant margins. With the Nuggets favored by 5.5 points and Luka's status up in the air, Denver looks ready to seize another win and cover the spread. I'm leaning towards the Nuggets to continue their hot streak, with Jokic leading the charge. If Luka plays, Dallas might have a fighting chance, but at this point, Denver's depth and momentum on home court are hard to overlook. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The 6th prediction for today is for a game between the Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns. This Sunday night's battle in Phoenix between the Suns and the Kings is shaping up to be a game that could shift the early season momentum for both teams. The Suns, who've been on a tear with a 7-game win streak and an 8-1 record, now face a real test as they adapt to life without Kevin Durant. With Durant sidelined for a couple of weeks due to a calf strain, Phoenix's dynamic offense will lean heavily on Devin Booker and Bradley Beal to keep the momentum alive. This is Sacramento's chance to step up and exploit the gap left by Durant's absence, a golden opportunity for a big road win. Booker and Beal will have to take the reins and carry the load, especially against a Kings defense that can be disruptive when locked in. Durant's absence is a huge blow, as he's been a go-to scorer for Phoenix, particularly in those crunch time moments. Eric Gordon and Royce O'Neal will likely get more touches and will need to contribute on both ends to support Phoenix's star duo. Additionally, with Jusuf Nurkic listed as questionable, Phoenix could be stretched thin defensively, meaning Booker and Beal may have to extend their minutes to cover both scoring and defense. Phoenix's start this season has been fueled by their dominance on home turf, going undefeated at Footprint Center with a perfect 5-0 home record. Playing at home may help soften Durant's absence, offering a slight psychological edge. But Sacramento is no slouch on the road, with 3 of their 5 wins this season coming away from home. The Kings lineup, led by De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, and DeMar DeRozan, presents some unique mismatches that could test Phoenix's defense, which ranks in the top 10 for 3-point defense. Sacramento has shown they can find their rhythm, but they've been inconsistent, especially from beyond the arc, where they rank near the bottom of the league. The Kings rely more on mid-range scoring, which could play into Phoenix's hands defensively. Both teams bring a solid defense into this matchup. Phoenix holds opponents to 44.2% from the field, while Sacramento is not far behind at 45.8%. This has the makings of a close, defensive battle, and the total under 229.5 points seems like a reasonable bet given these factors. The Kings bench could be the game changer here, with Malik Monk and Davion Mitchell offering some strong firepower and allowing Sacramento to rotate fresh legs against a Phoenix team that may be pushing its starters into longer minutes. History slightly favors Phoenix, as they've won the last 3 matchups, though all were close affairs. Without Durant, however, Sacramento's chances are looking better than ever. I think Sacramento has the edge to cover the 3-point spread here. With Durant out, Phoenix loses a lot of its offensive punch, and the Kings' defense has the tools to exploit that. My pick? Sacramento to cover the spread, with a lean towards the under on total points. I expect a close game that could go down to the wire, with both teams grinding it out defensively.